Hello. In this segment, we are going to talk about how to register for Google Earth Engine access and also the platform itself. Let's get right into it. So as you can see, this is the Google Earth Engine website. The address of the website, as you can see there, is the earthengine.google.com. There are various tabs for the Google Earth Engine. As you can see there, the dataset, FAQ, time-lapse, and so on and so forth. The main one that you would want to use the first time is to click the Sign Up button. After you click the Sign Up button, this form will show up, and that's where you can register your access. Once you get access, it will be very quickly, usually take up sometime as seconds speed, and you will be able to get access from there. And once you have access, you can go back to the Earth Engine website again. And from there, you can use the Platform tab. And under the Platform tab, you can go to various platforms inside Google Earth Engine. The platform that we are mainly going to talk about in this video series is the code editor. So let's go right to that. Once the code editor opens up, this is going to be where the main place that you code and explore Google Earth Engine. There are, of course, other platforms such as the Explorer, but it does not have as many functionalities as the code editor here. First, you will see a panel in the middle that is called the Scripts panel with the new scripts labels on top of it. And you will see different tabs, such as different buttons, such as Get Link, Save, Run, Reset, and Apps. Get Link and Apps, so the first and the last button is where you can share your scripts. And by sharing your scripts, it will make your script more widely available. The Save, Run, and Reset are script commands that you can do. Obviously, it's how you save scripts. Run is how you can run scripts. And Reset actually erase everything in your script. So be very careful with that one. In the gear icon, this is where a lot of the helpful feature in scripting that will be able to help you when you script. So you can turn off these helpful features if you find them to be not helpful. Moving on to the left side of the panel, we will see the panel with scripts, docs, and assets. With those tabs, the scripts under the scripts tabs, you will see where all of your scripts is. This includes the ones that you write, but also the ones other people share with you. In the filter scripts function, you can type in keywords for you to search through your script to find the one that you are looking for. Here, if I just type in water, it will begin to search for scripts that has the keyword water inside of it. I have a lot of scripts in here, obviously, and it will take a long time to search for that. As it's searching through, why don't I just quickly mention this new button. Once you click that, you will be able to create new repository, folder, and files within this scripts tab. And now the search has finished. All of these scripts contains the word water inside of them. To the right-hand side of the Documents is the Documents tab. Under the Documents tab, this is where a dictionaries of all of the Google Earth Engine functions is. And if we just grab an example of that, we can just choose this arbitrarily. You will be able to see basically a overview of that function. And you will see first there is the lines of descriptions of that function, the arguments that you have to put into that function, but also how and what kind of variable it will return. And in this case, it will return an array variable. So as you can see, this is a very handy feature when you're coding through and you suddenly forgot about functions. On the top, as I mentioned earlier, you can filter for different functions that you want to use. Moving on, under the Assets tab, this is where all of the data that you want to store is. And the data that you uploaded are all going to be stored inside of this tab. I will be going through this in a later video, so I'm not going to go further into that. Now moving to the right-hand side of the panel, you will see 3 tabs, which has Inspector, Console, and Tasks. In the Inspector panel, it will display information that you click on the map. So if I quickly do an example by clicking on the map down here, just a random arbitrary map point here. Now going back to the inspector, you will see what the information associated with that point that you just clicked, the longitude, the latitude, and so on and so forth. In the Consoles tab, right to the right of it is where you can print various results. And these can be texts or numbers or even graphs. And I will be using this panel extensively to show you results later on for the other videos. To the right of Consoles, you'll find Tasks. This is where you can keep track of the import-export activities that you submit to Google Earth Engine. Since I will be covering this panel in a later video, I will not go further into that. But just keep in mind, this is where you can keep track of those import-export tasks. Now, if we quickly move to the panel down below, this is where the map panel is. And inside the map panel, there are various functions that you can use for different purposes. If we go to the top left corner of the map, you will be able to see a hand, and this is simply how you can pan around the map. And the 4 different icons that you're seeing to the right of it is vector layers that you can draw on the fly on top of the map. One thing quickly I wanted to mention is the fact that when you draw these vectors, they will be stored inside your script. And if you have thousands or even millions of vectors, they will take up space. And every script you have has a quota limit, which you should not be exceeding. And if you exceed that, which happened to me before, you will lose your script, which will lose all of your work from before. And we definitely do not want that to happen. So just bear that in mind to the size of the vectors you want to draw. And to continue on, looking at the plus and minus sign, these are very straightforward. as the zoom in and zoom out levels. Now moving on to the right-hand side, you will see the map satellite buttons, and those changes the background map of what you're seeing here. So the map obviously is what you're showing, what you are seeing here by default, and that is very helpful when you're trying to locate yourself in the world. There's also other functions under the map, such as terrains. That's another way you can show terrains on your map. For satellite, this will show you the Google Earth imagery inside your map instead of the map you're looking at right now. So if I click on that, it will show you the imageries of the map that you are trying to look at. And this is very helpful if you are working with land cover data and you are trying to confirm what is on the ground, and Google Earth is always a helpful companion to use when you are trying to validate what's actually there. Moving on to the button right underneath is the full screen mode. And if I click on here, I'm going to just click on it real quick here. This is going to zoom out and going to zoom into everything that you want to see in the interactive map. And this is very helpful if you are trying to display large vector or image or any type of data to blow it up so that it does not just fit inside that small panel underneath. When you want to get out of this view, you can simply click on that again. Now you're back to the code editor. Two other quick buttons I wanted to mention are on the top right corner. One is the one with the question mark and the circle, and the other one is the exclamation mark with a comment. So for the question mark symbol, this is where a lot of the helpful resource you can locate inside for there. My personal favorites are the user guide and the developer Q&A site. Those are where you can get very helpful resource when you're coding or having problems. And the other personal favorite is the general shortcuts. And this opens up a list of shortcuts that you can use to help you code. And you don't have to remember all of them. This is going to be especially helpful when you are trying to comment code, as going to be mentioned in the next video. The exclamation mark icon shows you the feedbacks that you can give to Google Earth Engine team if you are running into troubles. And the Earth Engine team will look at these feedback and improve on their products. And this is a way for you to communicate with them. So there you have it. This is the general overview and the lay of the land, so to speak, of the code editor. And in the next segment, we are going to talk about and get our hands dirty in Java scripting. Hope to see you there. Thank you.